Hi everyone, it's Kathy Max, and today I'm going to show you some Christmas ornaments. So what we have here is like a little tree. We use fabric and we use a stick. And then I have some twine for the hanger. So you can go and cut your sticks out of your yard, or you can buy from Hobby Lobby. They have a package of sticks. So that is what I did. Let's get started. I have some homespun fabric. So I picked that up at Hobby Lobby as well. So I think what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to maybe alternate red and green on the tree. So we're just going to tie it to the stick. We're going to put the knots on the back. We're going to give it, this one I gave it a bow for the top. I think I'm going to do a button for the star this time, but let's get started. Set the stuff aside. I'm gonna cut. I cut my piece last time and I didn't like all these little strings. But we're gonna cut approximately about a 1/2 inch, give or take. Maybe I can pull these strings out. I didn't really like all the strings, but the homespun, what's good about that is it looks the same on both sides. Do a couple pieces here. Like I said, about a 1/2 inch. You can do pinking shears if you want. So I just don't like all those little, I don't even know if you can see them in the picture. Let's do a couple of the red. Oops, that didn't tear very well. Let's see where that gets us. So I'm going to pull some of the strings out. The sticks that you get from Hobby Lobby in that case are like 6 inches. You may want to get a longer stick if you have one that you can cut in your yard. So all we're going to do is tie these in a knot. We're obviously going to make the top shorter than the bottom. So I'm just going to cut this off over here. I'm going to tie another one. Slide it up a little. I kind of want my knot so my pieces will go side to side. So I'll cut this one. This is probably too short. Let me do another one. Make the tail a little longer, because again, we want to make sure that we go short to long. I picked one of the straighter sticks in my package. Where's that go? So like I said, I'll put some red in between, but since I have the green out, I'm just going to get all my green tied first. Okay, let's start with some red. Call it red. It's not red. I do have my glue gun plugged in. This would be a good project if you have kids. This would be something you know, that they could do. They could tie. You know, we don't have to really worry about the glue gun. Because like I said, on my example, I just did a ribbon, so I did a little bow. So you just basically tie it on, but if you get to the star and you want to do a button for the top, or if you have a star, you know, that you want to put on, you know, then obviously let the adults work with the hot glue gun. And then I'm going to do one more here between this set. So if we slide them all down, that is what it looks like. So then now what we're going to do, where does this little guy go? This guy goes up here. I want to get them in the right order because we're going to trim up the edges. So have a good pair of scissors. So basically we're just going to angle down or angle up. So if I match my top one, see, that's all we did. So then you're shorter at the top, longer at the bottom. I'm going to flip it this way. And we're going to angle them out. So then here's our little Christmas tree shaped form. So when we turn it over, here's what it looks like with the knots on the back. I mean, if you see, you know, hey, I like this green one just looking a little long, so you can cut it. Just so you get the layered, kind of angled look. This side looks like it's a little longer. So again, just have the knots on the bottom. Maybe that's what makes it look shorter and longer. Put the scraps on the side. Cut ourselves a piece of twine. I'm going to tie the twine at the top. I'm going to actually put it underneath this first green piece. I'm going to put it in the knot in the back. So I flipped it over. And then just going to tie this off at the top. I'm going to tie a knot. Then you can cut. So there's our hanger. Get these all prettied up here again. You could spray it with stiffener to help it stiffen it out, to help them lay better. But when you're playing with them here, that's why they're getting all over. Okay, I have two different size stars. So I just have a yellow button for the top, or I have this smaller button. We'll put the bigger button on. Just gonna put a dab of glue right there. And again, using hot glue, just be careful. There you have it, our fabric Christmas tree ornament. I hope you enjoy it. For our next ornament, we are going to use a milk jug ring. So when you open a new thing of milk, save this ring, and we can make this tulle wreath. So you just need to pick up, this is like a moss green tulle, and you're going to need some ribbon, and we'll use that for the hanger and the bow. You could also maybe get some berry garland. You could put that in there. I have some mini bells you could add. I have some mini pom-poms. These are 5mm, so I had segregated my red ones out, so you could always use those. So whatever you want to do to decorate it, but all you need is your milk jug. And the milk jug is only about like 1.5 inches, and this wreath, mini wreath, you can put it on your Christmas tree as an ornament, ends up being about 5.5 inches. So you're going to need some scissors, your cutting board, you could do a ruler, anything you want. So what I did, I cut my pieces 5 inches long. So we'll cut at the 5. You don't really have to be specific. Cut at the 5. I'm just going to cut a couple pieces. I have more cut. So you cut at the 5, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in half. But I'm going to stack them, and stack them, and then I'm going to rotate and cut them in half. So they're about 6 inches wide, so then I'm going to cut it about 3. So your pieces end up being like 2.5 to 3 inches by 5 inches long. And just like anything, any other time that we use the tool, what we're going to do is we're going to gather it all together. I just gathered it. I didn't fold it since these pieces are smaller, and I'm going to loop it. So you have to have some small fingers. So when you loop it, make sure your tails are even. And then every time we do this, we're going to make sure we put these pieces of tulle on the same way. So I'm going to put the loop under the milk jug ring, and I'm going to pull these tails through that loop. And then make sure your tails are even. Oops. And then you can just pull. And then I kind of wiggled it to pull it so it was tight. So it's going to start deforming your ring, but it all works out at the end. So again, just going to gather it up. We're going to loop it. Make sure our tails match. And we want to make sure that we put it the same way. So pull and wiggle it back and forth to tighten it up. And we slide it over as close as you can because we don't want to see any of the blue. So we're just going to keep going all the way around. I think this one we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Probably about 22, 23 pieces to make that. So I'm going to keep going around, and I'll come back and show you. This is where I'm at. I think I got like about 21 pieces, so I just scrunched it up the middle. We're going to make the loop. Make sure the tails are even. Again, make sure you're putting it in. Whoops. I was looking at it, counting it, and it was easier to count it from the nice clean side. I could probably squeeze one more in there. I have one more piece. We just scrunched it up. We want to fold it in half. Like I said, I cut them 5 inches long, and then I rotated them and cut them in half again. So it's like between 2.5 and 3 inches wide then. So there's all those. So this is the side I tied them on. This is the pretty side that has the knot on them. So it's all going the same way. I see one looks different. Two looks different. And then we're going to put the ribbon hanger. Let's take our ribbon. I changed my length ribbon size. I changed it, and I'm going to do 12 inches. Because it just seemed like the 10 was going to be too short when we went to tie it at the top. So I'm going to do the loop same way I did the tulle. I'm going to make sure my tails are even. I'm going to pull it. It's sitting over top of this green one here. So when we lay it down, I'm going to have that in the back, and I want to pull my green up around it. So then it'll look like it's going all the way around the green. Oh, and this is the side I want. Not that side, that was the back side. Sorry about that. Doesn't look as pretty as the greens. So the red to the back. I'm going to fluff the green up over top of it. Again, I'm trying to hide my blue ring. I got this piece here. I think my red is kind of on this green piece here. Slide them over so you can't see the blue as much. Okay, then we're just going to knot the end. I got fat fingers. So this is another good project that the kids could work on. They should be able to do the tulle. Well, you don't really need any hot glue unless you want to put ornaments or something on it. So before I tighten it too much, I want to slide the knot up as high as I can. And then we can make our ends pretty. So again, I'm going to pull my green up over it. There's my little wreath. Okay, now I'm going to try to do a finger bow on camera. So I've only made a couple of these. So we're going to use our 2 fingers. I'm going to hold my thumb with my middle. I'm going to wrap it around both of them. Let me cut a piece here. I don't even know how long. I'm just cutting a long piece because I'm not good at these. So wrap it around both. We're going to put this end, I'm still holding with my thumb, I'm going to put this tail down the middle here. I don't know if you can see that. Then I'm going to leave this loose because I'm going to come up, oops, under, and we're going to slide this tail now through this loop we just made. So it's going to come out the other side. And then we're just going to tighten it down. And that's our little finger bow. So you can shorten up the sides. I noticed the one side doesn't really pull as much as the other to shorten it up. So you can fix your tails. We can cut them off. I want to go this way. So there's our little finger bow. Woo! I actually did it on the first try, kind of. And then I'm just going to glue it on. So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue right on this red knot. That was a big dab. And I'm just going to hold the bow down just a little bit, just till the hot glue gets set. And there you have it. Our little wreath tulle ornament. Hope you enjoyed it. Save your milk jug rings. Okay, this next ornament, we're going to use these little wood cutouts. They don't say. It was a 6-piece. They're about 3.5 inches in diameter. I had my husband cut a hole in the center because we're going to make it an ornament. We're going to use buttons this time. I stained the wood. It was called Early American. If you can, find the wood slices that have like the bark on the side. They're probably about 1/2 inch thick maybe. If you can find those, this would be perfect on that. But I could not find any, so I just used what I had in my stash. So then what we're going to do, we're going to make another, it's going to be a wreath again. So we're just going to, you know, line up the buttons. I'm going to put these in this circle. And I think I wanted like the big ones like not next to each other. And that's another thing. I couldn't find good green buttons. So I just got with my stash. These are kind of like a mossy green. And then I got some red, little tiny little red ones that we're going to put on as berries. So we're going to glue all these down. And then I'm going to glue some on top of it, so we're going to layer them. So you can make any kind of shapes. If you wanted, we could have made like a Christmas tree. You know, I could have lined up, you know, the ornaments this way. I put that one up there. So we could line the ornaments. We could have lined the buttons up like this way. You could have put a brown one or two down here, make it look like a Christmas tree. But this is what we are doing. I'm going to do, I didn't have enough buttons to make two. So I am going to do a little wreath on the bottom. So that's going to be my base. So I'm going to glue all those pieces down. So I'm just, this would probably not be something good for the kids unless they're okay with using hot glue. I think there's like a cool gun, hot glue gun, but I don't know. I'm just trying to put a little bit because I really don't want them to come through the holes and see them too much through the holes. So again, you can just do all kinds of different shapes. You could do the Christmas tree if you had some white. You could do a snowman head, some white and black. So all I'm doing is gluing. This is just, a lot of these ornaments that I am showing you today is something that, you know, you can attach to your gift that you're giving. You can give it, you know, on your package. You can do like a teacher gift. If you do an ornament exchange at work or something like that. So then now all I'm going to do is kind of figure out how I want to put these. So see, I'm just going to kind of just lay more pieces, more buttons on top. So I'll probably do something like that. So I'm just layering. So that's all I'm going to do is just layer the next row on top. You're going to get the glue strings. I don't know if you know, but you can use your, if you have a hair dryer, you can blow the, oops, I think it's on my finger. You can blow the hair dryer and it should melt the glue strings a little bit for you. A little hack. That one there. Just gonna keep going around. A couple more. If you hear that dog, that is my neighbor's dog. She always comes to the fence and barks at our house. So I think she barks to get the dog's attention. Okay, so there we have, so it's like a little, I had an extra one I didn't use, and that's okay. You don't have to use them all. And then I got these little red ones, so we can just like stick these little red buttons like around, you know, like get them where you want them. So it'll be like little berries. I thought I had 5 red ones, but I guess I don't. I don't see them in my bag. So, oops. It's kind of got a lot of glue on it. So I hope I don't burn myself on that one. Yeah, with these little ones, be careful. I'm just kind of letting the glue kind of drips out. I have an older glue gun, so it kind of drips out as it's sitting here. So I kind of just been letting that. Okay, so there's our little red berries. So you can see all our glue strings. So this is our ornament. So it looks like a little wreath. I already finger bowed. I made a finger bow, so I'm going to put that at the top. Let's make a hanger first. Oh, that green doesn't go. So what did we determine? It was probably like about 12 inches that worked best on the last ornament. So today's videos are just different ornaments I'm going to show you. So I do want to thank everybody who stops in on my channel and watches. I do appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping. Please consider subscribing, and then that way you can see more how-to videos that I make. In the comments, you can let me know, what do you guys want to see? Do you want me to see, because Christmas is almost here. I need to stop making Christmas items. I need to start making, maybe Valentine's Day. I need to start making St. Patty's Day stuff. Just some summer items, spring and summer. I know, I'm thinking about that already in December. Whew. But when you're crafting, you always kind of have to be, ahead of the holidays. So all I'm doing is trying to stick my tails up through here, and I lost a tail because I think it was shorter. There's that tail. Come on. Okay. And then don't tighten your knot yet. Kind of slide it up as high as you can, because you want your hanger to be as long as possible. So there's our hanger. And then I have this little bow. I'm just going to put this little bow right on top. Do I put it on the wreath? Do I put it down here on the wreath? I think I'm just going to hide the hole up at the top. So I'm going to put the glue near the bottom of my hanger. I'm going to hold it down in the glue until it dries for a little bit. And then we're going to come back and I'll cut the tails. Oops, looks like it's sliding. I guess I didn't hold it long enough. You want to hold it long enough to let it set up. And then I just want to make this tail as long as that tail, or thereabouts. And there's that ornament. Sorry I did not have a sample because I didn't have very many green buttons. I couldn't find green buttons. But there, it's like a wreath ornament. And there you have it. That's the next ornament. Thanks for watching. Here is another ornament idea. This one I saw on Pinterest, so I'm here to show you how to make it. We're gonna need 3 pipe cleaners. We're gonna need some jingle bells. We're gonna need some pretty ribbon, and we're gonna make this jingle ball ornament. So you can go to Hobby Lobby. They have the 60% off, the 75-piece jingle bells. So let's get started. So I grabbed black pipe cleaners because I didn't really want to see the colored pipe cleaners in the middle of the bells. So I thought that kind of looked like it was in the shadows. So I thought that was good to use the black. In the Pinterest idea, I think they used red or green. So we're just going to take up our 3, going to twist them. So you have a spider, a 6-legged spider. And then all we're going to do is start putting the bells on. So when you put the bells on, you can, put them randomly. You can put them in order. So what we're going to do when you slide it, you're going to spin them so they're on opposite sides, so they're closer together. You do about 6 or 7 on each side. I think the sample, some of them I did 6, some I did 7. It just depends on when you go to start putting them together. Oh, and you're going to push them all the way to our where we twisted them, and they came untwisted already. So let me make sure I get a better twist in there on those. Because as you're working with them, that must have came untwisted. So give yourself a good twist there. So we're just going to feed them on the pipe cleaner. Like I said, you're going to do opposite sides. Oh, no, didn't want to put those on. So they all kind of get squished together. That is the goal. This would be a good one for the kids to do. This would be nice and easy for them to string up these pipe cleaners with the bells. This one must not be, this hole must not be very good. I shouldn't have put it back in there, huh? So that's like 6 of them. I want to push them down as far as I can. Like I said, I want to go all the way to, that was the one, let me put it over there. I want to go all the way down to the center. So pick yourself up. 75, so you should get like two bells, pretty much close to 2 bells per ornament. You should get two ornaments out of the 1 container of bells. My leftover button, I didn't want to lose it, so I put it in my bowl. Okay, so let's see where we're at. So when you gather them up, this is what you're going to kind of do. So we're going to kind of see, do I need any bells, additional bells, because I'm going to Probably need one more on this one. Oh, this might be the one that didn't work. Maybe this is the good one. Looks like I got two of them that don't want to work. Up through my pipe cleaner. There we go. Come on. Stubborn one. I'm just trying to see if when we go to put it together, you know, am I going to need, I'm going to form it, I'm going to push them down. This one could probably use one. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave two, I'm going to leave two down, and I'm going to pull two, and I'm going to twist them together. I'm going to pull two opposite ones. I'm going to twist it in here with these. And then I'm going to take this whole bunch. I just want to make sure I get a good, that they're good, all nice and in there. And what I did, I cut these off. Then I'm going to push, I'm going to roll those down. So I want to keep those cut ends, not so they can poke me. And then we're just going to form our ball with the last two. I don't think I did good with getting them opposite each other. And then I'm just going to spin these a couple times. And then we're just going to make a loop with the leftover pipe cleaner. And then I'm just going to wrap the pipe cleaner around, the pipe cleaner ends around my loop. And that forms our hanger. So there's your jingle ball. Put this aside. Let's make a bow. So my bow, I just cut my ribbon. I didn't measure, but I'm going to do bunny ears on this one. So we're going to do two loops. We're going to do the bunny ears. We're going to crisscross, and I'm going to put one of the bunny ears down through this loop. Maybe. And then I kind of tighten it, but I don't want to tighten it too much because I want to make sure, one, my tails are coming out the right direction. So I want my pretty side of my ribbon, I want to be showing, and then I'm going to tighten it, and I'm going to keep doing the same thing. I'm just going to pull my tails till I get my bow how I want it. Pull this side. I'm going to tighten it one more time. And all my stuff should be coming forward. So there's my bow. I think I'm going to stick hot glue right there on my pipe cleaners. Stick it right there on my pipe cleaner. We're going to stick the bow in the glue. Hold it there for a little bit. Make sure it sets up. Again, be careful if you're using hot glue. The kids can help you with putting the jingle, the bells on the pipe cleaners, but you know, make sure that they don't work with the hot glue unless you allow your kids to do that. And then we're going to cut our tails at an angle. And there we have it. Got some glue strings, but there we have our jingle ball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Here is one more ornament. We're going to use our buttons and wire. We're going to make this cute little snowman button ornament. Not too thrilled about what I did for the hanger, but we'll figure something out on this one. So we're going to use 22 gauge wire. I have silver here. We're obviously going to make a snowman, so I'm going to use white and black buttons. I'm going to use a red one for his scarf. So here I used a red one. It'll be his scarf. So I just kind of, again, just kind of went through my stash. You kind of maybe want to make sure your buttons kind of go down in size as you get bigger. So we're going to kind of do that, be the body. The biggest button I have on the bottom is about 1 inch, just so you know what that size is, and you can start from there. Again, I just went through my stash. Actually, this one looks blue, so I'll set that one aside. This one actually looks blue as well. Set that one aside. So, and then we're just going to do some little ones for the head, and then we're going to do some black for the top hat we're going to make. So basically just fold your wire in half, and when you load your button, you want to make sure you get on the opposite hole. You want to make sure you're on the opposite hole, and then you're just going to pull it all the way to the bottom. And then you're just going to keep doing that until you get to where you want his body to end. And then we will add the scarf, then we'll add stuff for his head, and then the top hat. Like I said, all I got to do is figure out how to end it. I really wasn't sure, so I twisted it because I obviously wanted it to stay. But then I don't know, the 22 gauge wire was a little thicker to bend it over on itself and to like make it stay. So I don't know. So we'll do this. Here's his body. We'll end with this one. Again, just make sure you go in opposite holes if you have the 4-hole buttons. So that's what we have for his body so far. It is probably about 1 inch tall. And then we'll put the red one in for his scarf. You could always, at the end, add ribbon or something to the scarf area. And then now we're just going to add buttons for his head. His, I guess it could be a her. You could do pink scarf. Whatever you wanted to do. But just make sure your buttons go down in size, so it gives that, you know, illusion. So I'll put a couple more of this size. Maybe we'll go down a size for his head. Kind of getting twisted here. So like I said, just make sure you're on opposite sides. Do another one that same size. So I cut a really long piece, probably don't need this long of a wire. Oops, opposite. I almost did not go opposite. So you can kind of see how it's looking. I'll put one of these smaller ones on this one. Again, I just went through the buttons that I had in my stash. You know, you can go and, so I guess I don't want his head taller than his body. So we'll do that. And this looks blue as well. That's a different color black. So we'll do this one. This one's just like a variegate. It's got silver and black on it, on the brim. So you want a bigger piece, obviously, so it's like the brim of his hat. And then you just start stacking. Is this one going to be bigger? Let's see. This one may look bigger. Probably is. So I don't really like that, so we'll take that off. I should have brought more of my black buttons down, but I thought those ones over there were black and not blue. Okay, I did go up and get a couple more buttons, and the more I bring down, the more they all look blue. So I'm gonna take this one off because I'm gonna use this black one, this bigger black one instead. I think my eyes are playing tricks on me. I think these are all black. If not, then he's gonna have a black and blue hat. So again, just make it opposite. You want to make it go bigger to smaller, just like we did on the snowman. What is this? This is weird. This is like 2-in-1 button. Probably stuck together. We'll put them together. See, that's how his top hat is going. Put a couple more of these littler ones on and we can be done. And then we'll figure out how we're gonna make the hanger. Put this one on. And opposite holes. Remember again, just opposite holes. Oops, where's the camera? Just opposite holes. Okay. And there we have it. I think that's done. We're going to call it done. So I'm going to push the buttons down and I'm going to twist. And I got my pliers right here because I want to get a good twist in there. So I do want to get a good twist in there. And maybe what we can do is just make a loop this way. Like I said, I got way too much wire. Trying to bring these down. I want my loop to be way bigger than the snowman. So I'll try to bring them down. Okay, and then I think I'm just going to wrap it on itself. Maybe we can wrap it on itself up here more. So then we have that, you know, and then maybe I can get these two closer together. Maybe I can do a little twist up here to match the bottom. You could probably try using pipe cleaners. That might work. Because obviously this wire is hard to make a loop. I don't really like that either, but I am going to cut it off there. We'll try to make it prettier. Let me cut more off. And then I think I'm just going to tuck this wire down, maybe. Pinch it on itself. You can always put a bow or ribbon up there so then it doesn't look so bad. But there we have it. That is our little snowman button ornament. Hope you enjoyed this.